Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Nathan, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight for Mastery Talks Live. I'm here to just share just a few things with you this evening that I hope will be an encouragement to you, that will give you some insight. And I'm going to open up just sharing just a little bit about Mastery Talks and why I'm coming to the platform to share, hopefully, a little bit more often than I do, and to share some insights and wisdom that I think will help us navigate the times that we are in. So, if you're on tonight and you've been looking to hear wisdom, some insight on how to navigate the days, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're building a nonprofit organization, you are in a professional corporate space, or you're building a ministry. I think some of the things that I'm going to share tonight will be very insightful for you and very helpful as you navigate these times. And so, Mastery Talks Live, I started this several years ago and hosted it as a podcast for a while, and had various guests and voices on that were influential, or that I deemed to be influential in their specific industries and in their space. And one of the reasons why I began this process was to be able to provide some level of support for those who are solopreneurs, who are leading a business in a influential space in the corporate arena, or working in other capacities of influence and leadership, to provide some level of insight and support. Because what I was noticing is that so many people were working within their industries and spaces, and their motivation might have been financial success, or their motivation could have been were other things. And I felt that it would be important for us to understand, especially during the time of the pandemic, that many people were starting to really take a look at their decisions and their life and what they were doing, to really determine, am I on mission? Am I doing something that is purposeful? Do I feel a sense of fulfillment in what I'm doing? And I was discovering through various conversations that people were motivated by financial success and other things, but not necessarily motivated by purpose or driven by a specific mission, or a sense of being mission driven in what they were doing. And so many people went through various transitions in both their professional, in their business, and in other areas of life, that it made them really rethink what it is that they were specifically focused and designed to do. The other thing that I realized is that many people, clients that I talked to and others in various industries, were also struggling from a financial standpoint, and finding it hard to really begin to hit a place of momentum as it pertained to cash flow and financial stability within both their personal lives and in their careers, in their businesses. And so I wanted to be able to provide some insight. So this word mastery has been something that has always been kind of churning, or there within my heart, within my mind, because what I've discovered is that when we really focus on an area and begin to perfect our skill set, our abilities within that area, and reach or strive toward a place of mastery, we start to see that things are opportunities, resources, relationships, finances are drawn to us, because we are sitting in a specialty area, and we're honing in on our craft, our skill set, our ability, to the point where we're just hyper focused on excelling in that specific area, or that specific domain, if you will. And whenever we strive toward that, whenever we move toward that, we're going to see great opportunities come our way, great moments, great things are going to happen. Cash flow will begin to happen. So many other things will be attractive, because I believe that mastering and really striving toward that positions us in a very unique place to be able to be impactful, and to be able to also feel a sense of fulfillment because we hyper focused on that. So whenever our focus is split and we have split focus, it really has a way of impacting our momentum, impacting our ability to thrive in an area and to be successful in the things that we feel passionate and driven and drawn to do. So on this platform, the real focus is to give you some insight on various things from industry perspective to trends of what is happening economically in our world, what's happening in the business landscape, and also to begin to give you some practical insight or practical strategies to begin to implement that will help you to be successful in the things that you are pushing toward. So a lot of what I'm going to share with you is really set for those who are mission driven. This is for the mission driven individual who knows that I have a specific, unique thing that I was designed to do. I built this entity, whether it's a business, a nonprofit, or whatever you're constructing. I built this entity for the purpose of accomplishing a mission bigger than me, a mission bigger than anything that I could do individually on my own. And so Mastery Talks is really to not only for me to share, but also to bring others with expertise and insight that can help us navigate whatever challenges we may be facing in the building process of what we are working on or working toward. A lot of the principles and things that I'm going to share with you will be from a biblical perspective. I will use the Bible and other resources to help shape and share a lot of the principles and things that I'm going to share with you. These things are principles that I have lived by, I have observed and seen in the lives of others that I've worked with, both in my professional space as well as in leadership roles and other organizations and entities where I've had the opportunity to lead and to be a contributor. And in those spaces, I've observed several things that I think that as I share with you over the next few weeks in various times that I will be coming on Tuesdays to share, I want to share those insights with you. I want to share those observations. I want to give you tools to work with that will enable you to be able to really be impactful and effective in the things that you're doing. So I want to first start by talking about where we are right now. Where are we economically? What stage and space are we in? I know we are hearing so many things through social media, through the media, through various personalities and business individuals are sharing various things that observations and trends that we are noticing or that we are hearing about and we are seeing in our experience and exposure in the corporate space and the industry space. And so economically, we are in a very unique and a very difficult and in some ways challenging time economically, but it's challenging to those who see this as a moment of opposition versus a moment of opportunity. And it's important for you to be able to have the proper perspective if you're going to thrive in this season. You're going to have the right perspective if you're going to thrive. And that perspective is critical to your forward motion and your movement and mobility in this time. And so I want to talk to you a little bit because we've been hearing a lot about artificial intelligence and its impact on the economy, its impact on our society, on our culture, on our world, and especially in the business space. We're seeing a lot of AI adoption happening with those in the business space. We're seeing a lot of entrepreneurs and big corporations developing AI adoption strategies and plans for the purpose of efficiency. And in some cases, we are hearing, and if we're paying attention to a lot of the media personalities and voices that are speaking, we are hearing that AI will replace human beings and replace a lot of the workforce. And I know that that is creating some level of anxiety, fear, concern about the future, concern about what the world is going to become and where things are going. And so what I want to do is share some big ideas, some thoughts with you. Also share intermingled into some of this will be some scriptural references and focuses that I think will also shed some light on where we are going, where we are headed, and what's happening, and some things that we can do to help ourselves as we navigate. This is going to be a season for those who are really focused on developing a very clear and very specific strategy around where they're headed. This is not a moment for you to haphazardly make decisions. It's not a moment for you to just sit back and be and move by the, you know, just move by the winds of things that are happening. This is going to be a moment for you to be very strategic and intentional. Be very strategic and intentional around your movement in this time. And so the economic landscape is giving us a very clear picture, a very clear indication of how we should do and what we should be doing. And so the first thing I want to share with you is that every major technology that is introduced in our world creates a new economy. And if we can recall new technology over various seasons and times in our world, those new introduction of that technology created a new economic reality for us. It created a new economic reality. And so it's important for us to remember historically that as we see the introduction of these various forms of technology from you know, the boom of the internet to smartphones to now artificial intelligence, each one of these introductions of technology created a new economic reality. And this is important for us to understand because those realities are ones that we've had to adjust to, that we've had to settle into. And with the introduction of all of those things, there's been a disturbance in what has been economic norms in our world. There's been a disturbance or a disruption, if you will. And disruption economically is common. It is normal. It is something that is going to happen because it is necessary for, as generations emerge that have new ideas and present new solutions to current problems, it again causes an emergence of a new economic reality. So every generation has had to learn how to navigate a new economic landscape. And we're now entering another new economic reality that we have to settle into. So how do we really navigate this moment in time? Number one, it has to be strategic. We cannot do things without having a strategy. And we have to think and move strategically if we're going to be able to effectively navigate the times. This is also in this space is going to be an increase of productivity. In every new economic reality, there's an increase of productivity. And one of the reports from McKinsey shares that because of generative AI, that there will be a contribution of somewhere between 2.6 and 4.4 trillion dollars in economic value on a yearly basis. This new economic reality should create or stir in us the eyes to see opportunity. For many of us who have operated or functioned within our workspace the same way, and we've done the same things for years, for the last 10 years, 15, 20 years, you know, it's interesting that we often want the benefit of change without the disruption that change brings. And so this means that there needs to be a shift in our approach to how we do what we do. And there needs to be an intentional effort made to improve our skill set, to improve our ability, and to reposition ourselves as not just doers in this new economic reality. We need to position ourselves as thinkers. We need to position ourselves as strategic individuals who understand that this new technology is meant to be a tool to help us navigate a new reality. So, so I think that we have to approach this from a very different way than we have in the past. So those of us who are working in a solopreneur space or self-employment space, it's important for us to invest in the technology that will help us to be more efficient and to help us compete in a very challenging and competitive global market. We can't just think local, and we can't just function with that mindset. We're going to have to expand our thought process in what we do to be more global minded while we are functioning within a local space. And we are going to need to see the emergence of this technology as tools to help us to be more efficient and tools to help us scale what it is that we are building, doing, and offering to the public. The tools that are being presented technologically have the capacity to help us scale at a very rapid pace, and um, and so we cannot allow what we see emerging to intimidate us. We have to see it as a moment, as an opportunity to be able to compete on a very at a very high level, and to be more efficient in what it is that we are doing. It's important to realize that that intelligence is becoming the new infrastructure for how we do what we do, and how we are engaging from an entrepreneurial standpoint. Companies and governments are spending billions of dollars to really invest in this new form of intelligence uh, for the purpose of being able to solidify their space economically and to stabilize their position so that they're able to maintain it within this challenging reality. So, what do we need to do um, further to maintain our competitive edge and to be in a position where we can take full advantage of the opportunities that are set before us? One, I would say that you need to have a financial strategy that is coupled or that is partnered along with your technological strategy. If you're going to scale or take what you're doing to the next level, if you're going to be able to compete in the market, if you're going to be in a position uh, to have stability and to grow, right? Not just to maintain, but also to grow in this market, you're going to have to invest in a financial strategy that also is tied to or connected with your technological strategy. And what technology is necessary for you and your industry to be able to grow, right? To be competitive, and to be in a space where you're able to excel, although it seems to be contrary winds, right? It seems to be opposition in the market, but there's no opposition. This is clearly a moment of opportunity. And so we're going to have to invest. We're going to have to invest in knowing the technology. We're going to have to invest in upgrading our skills and understanding how these tools can work to help us to be more effective. And so this may mean that you'll have to retool yourself by going back and investing in your knowledge base around this, right? And knowing what tools are out there, and then what is going to help me and what's working in the industry. And so studying and re-looking at your industry to see what is shifting and changing, and what things do I need to examine the industry I'm in and see what the future holds concerning it, so that I know whether I should be making an investment or should I be pivoting. And so these are some things that I wanted to share with you to help you to think about where you are, where you're going, and what you plan to do, and how you can navigate the times. This is there's a scripture I do want to share with you that comes to my mind that I think will be helpful as I kind of just wrap up my thoughts and sharing with you today. In Psalms 107, verse 23 and through 31, you can read it in its entirety, but I just want to read these two components. It says, "Some went down to the sea in ships, doing business on the great waters. They saw the works of the Lord and his wonders in the deep. I want to encourage you today that that although it seems that you may be stepping into what seems to be great waters, it seems to be an overwhelming time or moment or space to be navigating. I want you to know that as you are stepping into this space or stepping into this time that can be and seems to be overwhelming, that there is a strategy that God has for you in what you're doing. And it's important for you to be not only committed to your mission and committed to what you're doing, but also committed in your prayer life and in your time talking to God, because he knows how to help you navigate the complexity of the economy, the complexity of the industry, and the technological disturbance that we see. He knows the strategy that is absolutely necessary for you to navigate this time. And so I want to leave you with that encouragement. I want to leave you with that insight that this is not an obstacle that we are facing. We are facing an opportunity. And what is standing before us is an opportunity to move forward and to thrive in a new economic reality. You will not sink. You will surely be able to navigate these times as long as you remember to, number one, seek God during this time, and number two, to develop the capacity that is necessary for you to be effective. So I hope that this helps you tonight. I hope this gives you some insight on an encouragement in what you can do as we forge ahead into a new economic reality. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.